When I met you in
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video, and today in this video I am showing you tips to the difference of being a pro and a noob in Minecraft, because people don't understand how little things like little details and little edges makes a lot different in a build. So like, think of your surroundings. So I'm gonna have 5 tips that you're gonna need to know. But the first tip is where you are making your area. So if you're trying to make a hillside mansion, I wouldn't think you could make it in a little plain like this, or like a little edge of a hill right there. Give yourself enough space so you can use your ideas thoroughly and good. So just like over here, this would be a good bend to wrap around and also make a big house and also go through the mountain and have enough space to maybe even make a balcony somewhere across on the other side of the mountain, depending on how big or how small your house or building is going to be. So another tip is always make the shape before you start building. So I'm gonna make an example for you over here. So I'm gonna get myself some white wool, for example, and I'm gonna put a base layout of what I want this to be when I am done with the build. So if I'm planning on making a house, I'm not gonna you always have to think of the shape before you do everything. And like, don't just make a house like this. This is what people don't understand. That is a big part of when you build a house. Don't just build like a square. This is not going to do you any good by just making a flat and straight build, and that's not going to work. So like, and imagine how tall you want it to be. Like, you're just gonna have a straight layout. It's not gonna be different edges, not gonna look all detailed, and not gonna look as its best. So the thing you want it to do is that when you're making a layout, just think about it. It's like, alright, where do I want to make a decent sized house? Alright, over here sounds good. And then start building. Make a layout before you think about doing anything else in your build. See how I am picturing it out and also knowing where to put everything and where to and what is going to be inside of these rooms, because the thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to make it where it's going to go out over here over the ravine, and then it's going to be like a little balcony. It's going to have a see-through floor. But see how you should picture out what you're going to do and where you're going to put it before you start building. So alright, I think this is going to be a nice bedroom over this corner of the ravine. So alright, it looks good. And then, but if I made it as a box, it would not be working as well as it is, or it wouldn't look as exotic and different. If you make the same house as everyone else, you're not going to be achieving anything. So let's make a little bend right here. Alright, whatever. So, I usually play on Xbox, so it's not as controlled as me on PC, but I'm kind of working on that right now, and most of my videos are going to be on Xbox after I achieve that goal. But see how I planned it out where I know this is going to be here, this is going to be here, and I have enough space to do it. So I planned on making the entrance over here, so it's probably not going to be even because I just randomly build. But imagine I put the door right here. Like, I try to make it near the middle. And then I make a outer rim, just to explain, like, or infer that this is gonna be where it is, and I know where to put my doors. But the step number 3 is lighting. So trying to putting glowstone everywhere just to cover up everything. If it's not covered enough, it's just not gonna work for you. Make sure you have like at least every room covered in windows. Make it open, make it shine. Even when it's dark out, put that's when the glowstone will come into place. But make sure your lighting is perfect. But another tip about lighting is that when you use lighting, like what if you want to put carpets? The thing you could do is that the light goes through carpets and slabs. So if it goes through carpets and slabs, then that means that you could put the glowstone under it so it's not everywhere, and you could still make a bright but clean build without having all that random lighting stuff everywhere. So that's just a tip about lighting and like little things that you could do in your own build. Number 4 is a matching of materials. Think about what's good with each other. Like, don't like I think white and wood look good together, but someone might think, oh, if I just do this and just put this and just make a house out of random materials, so I could just build over here. It's like, oh yeah, okay, this, that, like, that's just random. Like, they didn't think about what materials they're using and how they're gonna use it. But you have to think about what materials you're gonna use at that time as you're building the actual building. So the thing I thought was spruce looks good. You could use, like, try to balance it out where you have one dark color and one light color, and then just use those as 2 main colors of your build. But those are pretty important when you're building. But also it is how high your ceilings are, because if the ceilings aren't high enough, then it's not going to be easy. Because when you're in a build, sometimes you want to jump around when you're running and stuff. You're not going to be able to do that if it's only 2 blocks high. Okay, just saying, just putting it out there. Just like down here, I have space where I can jump, because this is that goes 2 and then 3. And then if you put one more up here, then it's going to be a nice 3, so you could jump and you could also run and have a easy, like, open build. So also about this shape, this is just random when you think about it. When builders build, they usually make a game plan, or like they just think, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this like this and with this. Like, they don't just go into a build and just say, hey, I'm just gonna build a house somehow. They say, alright, I want my house to look like this, and I want it to be made out of this, etc. But you know what I mean, as in you have a lot of things that you might need to do and to achieve before you think that a house is a house, and that is a good. The last tip of this video is detail. So detail is taken a long way when you are building a house. So people just think, I don't know any details. How can I make details if I don't know anything about it? That's the point. When you're making, you know the detail. Like, you make up the details, because if you just make a box, that's not going to look right. But just like this, how it has like a circular form on the outside of the ridges of the building, I'm making that into something like cool and like exotic. Because if it's a different details, it makes it more pop out of the area. So if you're trying to make a tree house, that's different. But if you're trying to make a awesome modern house, like, know what you should be using and know like what you would need But if you just want to make something from scratch, just make some like test builds. Like make like a test house before you make the real deal. Because if you mess it up, then that's a problem. Because then you have to, oh, I messed up this, and now I have to break all this again and then redo it again. But just know what you're doing and then make your final product when you're building. So, I made this like a pretty good form. Now let's make some windows. So I'm actually gonna put it like this, where I'm gonna shape out the windows. But this is how I do it. You don't have to do it like me, but I like putting an outer edge around the build before making a like all that stuff. I like making an outer rim, so if people want to walk around the house, around the border of the house, they could still have shade and be comfortable. So I think this of not a builder's perspective, but of how I would want to live in that house and how I would want it to look. So as you see, I'm making a blue border. So this is just a test material, but you could make this out of anything you want. You can make it out of white, just like the bottom, but I just chose blue for some reason. But I'm gonna put this around and then I'm gonna make where I want my windows to be in this house. So just like a disclaimer for this video, I'm not using a webcam right now, but I do have one, and I will be using it. Today I didn't feel like it, so it will be used if you were wondering. And if you have more questions about houses and how they are made in Minecraft, just say it in the comments. It's not too bad to ask. But yeah. And there's a creeper inside of my house. That's a good edge right there. And then edge that off. So I always make it where I can make an outside border, and how I can make it even. Like even, and then even. So see all these edges and all these borders? These are all windows. And then like this, window. And then etc. This will go all the way around your build. As you see my builds, I think it looks pretty nice for just a little test build for a video. But if I imagine, this would all be glass right here. Probably stained glass. Alright, so yeah, these are all going to be probably black stained glass, because you want to keep it a good balanced like just color and all that stuff. But you probably don't want to see all this breaking and stuff. So I'm just going to fast forward this all the way till I'm done with the build, and how it probably you think it would look at the end of the video. So I hope you do enjoy this video. Alright guys, so I just finished the house, and yeah, I didn't have a lot of time because I had to eat, I'm gonna have to eat some food, so I was kind of rushing. But I mean, it's not that great, but in other videos I will make much better houses than I did right now, and I just hope you guys like it. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night, I raise my head.